Hi everybody, welcome to Dandelion Cottage and Watercolor Wednesday. I'm Leslie Watkins. Well, it's starting to feel a little bit like Christmas around here. I've just come back from a nice holiday fair in New York, and I was extremely fortunate to be sitting next to the wonderful calligrapher Deborah Delaney, and she did these beautiful examples of this formal hand for me. We did a little collaboration with the holly, and I'm going to show you in a little bit in this video how you can get started doing some holly paintings just like you see here. But before we do that, I have an unboxing for you. I'm going to show you the contents of the Watercolor Paintbox Starter Kit. And this is a collection of materials and supplies that are perfect for anybody who wants to get started with watercolor. Maybe you've dabbled a little bit with it in the past and your materials are not everything that you'd like them to be. This kit has no frills, really good quality supplies and everything that you need to get going. So let me open it up and show you what it looks like. It's also available to give as a gift, and I have some gift certificates available as well. So if you have somebody on your Christmas list who you think would like to do a little watercolor painting, or maybe it's yourself, this is a great chance to get started, and there are some other classes and things that I'll tell you about that you may be interested in as well. So let me just put the camera down so you can see my desk. The box comes to you like this. And oh, let me see if I can zoom this out a little bit. There we go, that's a little bit better. So it's just this really nice box, comes in the mail, delivered to your door. And on the inside, you have this beautiful presentation of all of these items. So first and foremost, you're going to get my beautiful little branded watercolor paint box, and this is nearly identical to the thing that you see me using all the time. Okay, so in the box you have a selection of pans. This is a full pan. These are half pans so that you can configure it any which way you like. Usually, because I use a very limited palette, I will just have 8 of these full pans in my box, but you can mix it up. And you're also going to get a fabulous watercolor travel brush. And this is a travel brush because the handle then turns into the case that protects the brush tip while you're traveling. And look at that point. This is a magnificent brush. And what you're looking for is a round that comes to a beautiful point, just as this one does. And so it's perfect to get started. And it fits beautifully inside the case. You're also going to get a selection of primary colors in professional tubes. So these colors, red, yellow, and blue, are the exact colors that you see me working with every Wednesday when I do Watercolor Wednesday. So you have plenty of paint here to get started. They're going to last for a long time because they are professional quality, and they're going to work beautifully with one another to give you wonderful mixtures. You're going to get a sponge. So when you wet your sponge, it's going to puff up and look something like this. You're going to get a kneaded eraser. So it comes in this nice little case, and this is just the same kind of soft rubber eraser that you see me using when I'm lifting off excess graphite from my drawing. You're going to get a case with paper. So this is 10 sheets of the Fluid 100, 140 pound, 100% cotton paper. So that's very important. So you're going to get a nice pack of that, and it's going to be protected in this case. You're also going to have let me see if I can get this out of here, a surface, and this is a plexiglass board, and this is just going to make it so that you can use your wet and wet technique, lift up your paper, keep it nice and clean, and it will dry nice and flat on that board. You're going to get a few accessories. So you're going to get a spritzer, you're going to get a pipette, you'll get a Dandelion Cottage design pen, and a Dandelion Cottage design pencil. This is a number 2 pencil, so nice and soft. And this is everything needed to get started, and I'm going to show you right now how I use all of these things when I do one of my quick painting studies or even a much longer painting. So there it is. That is the Watercolor Paintbox Starter Kit, and if you'd like to learn more about it and see something about the subscription to get the class of the month and the extra paints and all the other things, please go to watercolorpaintbox.com, and all the information will be there. So let's get started. So here are my things. I'm going to grab a piece of paper. And I think I'll zoom you in a little bit so you can see better. And as you can see, I've got this homemade pouch that I made a long time ago to hold my little watercolor kit. And in it, I've got all my extras here. I've got my pencil, my pipette, my spritzer, and then in here is tucked my paint box. This is the same paint box I used when I was in New York this weekend doing a demonstration at the New York Society of Scribes annual holiday fair. So I've got a little bit of gold left on here because I was embellishing my painting with some metallic gold paint. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pipette and I'm filling it with water from my cup, just like that, and I'm just going to give my colors a little refresh here. Okay, so that's all there is to it. Then I have my beautiful holly, so let me just get one of my sprigs out so you can see it too. So look at that, look how beautiful that is. So many berries. I'm not going to do the whole thing, I'm just going to do a quick little example of how you might be able to get started. Okay, and so I'm just going to work on this upper left-hand corner. I'm going to leave this place over here for a sentiment or a note, and I'm going to do a very quick rough sketch. So I'm just indicating the placement for some of the leaves. And I'm not applying too much pressure, okay? I'm just making it dark enough so that I can see what I'm doing, but I'll also be able to remove some of the excess graphite when I'm done. And I think we'll add a couple of berries under here. And one more leaf. There we go. Okay, and I'll let you see that up close. All right, so just a quick sketch, not a lot of detail, just something to indicate the direction and the placement of all the elements. And I'm going to go back to my paint box here. And I've got to get my brush. I didn't get my brush out. Let me grab my brush. I've got a little bit of paint still left in my palette, and that's fine. I can just reactivate that with a little bit of water, and that's good to go. So there's my yellow. There's my blue. If I mix those together, I'm going to get a nice green. So there we go. And I'm using plenty of water. I'm just going to get this started. And I'm sketching with my brush. So I'm not just filling in the outlines. I'm also adding a little bit to what I've got down there already. I'm also thinking about the drawing and how I can improve it. So I'm making a lot of little corrections as I go, but I'm also not being too fussy because I want it to look spontaneous and loose and kind of sketchy. So I'm not getting stuck in any one place. I'm just kind of moving around as fast as I can. All right, and as I continue to paint and go back into it, I will be adding more and more detail. Now over on the side here, I have my sponge. So I think you can see the corner of my sponge here, and I'm just using that to remove excess water from my brush. I also have a couple of absorbent paper towels handy just in case I need to clean off my brush or make it even drier. Now my red mixture is a little, or my red color is a little bit on the cool side, so I'm adding a little bit of yellow just to warm it up because these berries have a little bit of a warmth to them, even though they are very dark red. And already, without doing a lot, it's already starting to look like a decorative holiday motif. So you can take it as far as you like, or keep it as loose as you like. If you were making some gift tags, you could bat out a bunch of these in no time at all. I think I'm going to add one more berry over here in the background. Okay, so there is my first pass. Okay, very simple. All right, and I'm going to Now mix up a slightly darker green. So I'm going to go back into my green mixture, but this time add a little more blue. So now it's a little bit darker. And I can just get that into the shadow areas. Give that a little more form. And when I teach my watercolor classes, you sign up for one of my watercolor classes, I go into a lot more detail about value, color, form, how to create depth in your picture, and all the other foundational things required to take your painting to the next level. But there we go. I'm looking at this and I think it looks really cute. I'm just going to add a little more red now for some of these berries in the background. Okay. Now, at this stage, my painting is very wet, so if I hold it against the light, I think you can see how shiny that is. So I'm going to just let this dry, okay? And once it's completely dry, I can go back in, I can use my kneaded eraser to remove any of the excess graphite that's on there. I can take a smaller brush and get really tight little details if I choose to or not. I can add any little corrections, and if you'd like, now where's my, here we go. You could also use some gold ink to add some sparkle. I have some of this gold gouache on my palette, so I'll probably use a little bit of that, and I can make it a little sparkly and festive for Christmas. So I hope that gives you some ideas. I'm going to zoom you in so that you can see a little bit better. All right, now I have 6 of the watercolor paint boxes starter kits ready to go, and if you order them by this Friday the 13th, I'll be able to get them out to your recipient in time for Christmas. So there's just a limited number of the boxes left, and we're kind of running out of time. So if anybody out there would like to get one of these watercolor paint box starter kits, please send me a message. You can go to the watercolorpaintbox.com website and find out more. Or if you subscribe to Notes from Dandelion Cottage, and there is a sign up button above on the top of the page, I'm going to be sending out an email with all the information that you need to know in it, and all you have to do is click the link. So please do that. Stay tuned for more. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to be continuing to work on the fancy holiday gift box, and you'll be able to see how that turned out. I'm very happy with it. It's really pretty. And I think that's it for now. You can also find more information at dandelioncottagedesign.com. There's information about the watercolor paint box there. So there's a lot of different ways that you can find out about how you can get your own. So let me know if you have any questions. Stay well, stay happy, stay painting. Keep those brushes wet, and I will see you next time.